killing time.
All right, people.
Hello.
What is up? Let us know in the chat if you made it. We're hopeful that we are that we made it into YouTube. We got a lot of technical difficulties the past few weeks, but we've got a new streaming program, and hopefully you all got the emails, and hopefully you're gearing up to join us this evening for a little journal party live.
Yeah.
So if you're coming in, do say hello in the chat. I see we got a few people showing up. And bear with us. We're on new software today, so I don't know where any of my normal buttons are or anything like that. But, you know, that's what we're dealing with. We're analog people living in a digital world. So,
100%.
all right. Well, tell us who's here, and we'll get the party started in just a moment.
Hi there. Hi, ladies. Hello.
All right. We got Mary's in the house. Kathy Poo's here. Good deal. Good deal.
Folks.
How's everyone's week going?
I think we're hanging in there.
Let us know though how the music volume is as well, because I got a mix on a new platform.
Oh, well, thank you.
She is, and you know what? I never let her use her fancy light.
I was like, it makes my skin look better. It makes me look better, and I insist. So now I have a little spot.
You look
just
great without it, for
thank
the record.
you, but oh no, I just.
Oh, I like that. It's warm and
Is
amber.
it? Okay. Well,
Yeah.
okay.
Hey there.
We'll try that. We don't really know what we're doing with our technology right now, but here we are. So thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Well, ironing the kinks out as we do. What's up,
There.
Naomi? Good to see you. All right.
I hope everyone is staying cool. I know there are heat waves across the country. I hope you're all staying cool. It is very hot here in Los Angeles, but we are surviving. And thankfully, we have a little AC unit. I was talking to a friend today who was just in France for a month, and they are experiencing the most heat out of anyone. And she said there is no AC anywhere. So we are quite spoiled in the U.S. to have
As we both
access.
show up in
Yeah.
jackets and sweaters.
So we're ready for fall.
All right, we got Bria Loves in
Hi
the house.
there.
Can you guys hear the music? Let me know. I got to do a little bit of mixing here. Might be low. Great.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It's hot.
Yeah. It's not so bad here in LA, but I do know that many other parts of the country and the world are really suffering right now. Ooh, yeah, 97. That is toasty.
Oh, there was another stream. Yeah, we had some. I'm telling you, we got all sorts of technical difficulties going on. I saw it scheduled one by accident at like 4:00. So that might be the one that people are clicking into. And if you put a link in there, thank you so much. Appreciate it. Got to help each other out.
Yes.
Let's see. All right, 97 degrees here on the East Coast. Do not envy that.
Yes.
I remember my Florida days frequently in the 90s with humidity.
Oh.
I went on like a little walk and a hike today here in LA, and it was hot. It was like definitely in the 80s, but when it's dry and there's lots of trees around here, fortunately, it wasn't so bad, but I feel for you all in the heat. Right, Michigan.
Ooh, I'm
Canadian
so sorry to
wildfires.
hear that. That's, we, as Los
We're
Angeles
familiar with
folk,
wildfires.
We know what that looks like when the sky starts to turn orange and red, and it's frightening. I hope you have an air purifier, and I hope you stay nice and safe.
Mary says we set up our toddler pool, living it in.
Yes.
Living it in. Yeah. Ooh, we've been looking at houses. We might get a pool.
Maybe.
That would be so fun.
We shall see, but
Oh,
it
man.
would be
Have pool
a night-
parties.
have pool parties and cool off.
Siri said, my iPad going off again. I think it's hot everywhere. Here in the Midwest, 93 feels like 103. Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, everyone hopefully stay cool, do all the tricks. I love popsicles. That's like my snack. I'll eat like 4 of them though. It's probably not great because it's got fake sugar in it, but you get by.
Gotta do what you gotta do.
All right, give it 2 more minutes, folks, and then we will get this party started. Is there any newbies in the house? I don't know. Hopefully, people found their way to this one because apparently we had 2 links going live. So yeah, hopefully everyone makes it. Let us know if you're new, though. Basically, the way that this works is it's a live journal party. So what we do is we stream the Journal Party guided journaling platform, which you see on your screen next to our faces. And if you've never checked it out before, definitely check it out. You can get there by going to journalparty.com, or you can download the mobile apps. We have one for Apple and also one for Google on Google Play. And on there are, we've got over 150 guided journaling programs now. And it's pretty simple. We throw prompts on the screen. There's timers. You can normally set a vibe, but we've got some music already going for us this evening. And when you see the prompts, just start writing. My wife and I will take turns reading the prompts and journaling along with you. And then at the very end, we will just go ahead and hang out and share our insights. So yeah, it looks like we've got some people joining us. There was another stream link that went out, so apologies for that. We've been having a lot of digital difficulties as of late. So apologies for that, and glad you made it. Glad you found it. All right. So Alex, you want to talk about what we're going to be journaling about tonight?
Yeah. So today's program is the art of friendship. So as you guessed it, we are discussing our friendships, and we're going to explore how they make us feel and what traits in particular these friendships bring out in each of us. We will also evaluate how we show up as friends in their lives and try to identify any areas that might need a little improvement. And yeah, we're excited. I know I just had a great conversation with a girlfriend of mine, and adult friendships can be very tricky. And, people have lives and children and spouses, and, it gets a little more complicated as you get older. But I just know I value all of my friends that have stuck around. And, I think you need to understand that, sometimes we may not be as available to each other, which is okay. But, you got to find that nice balance with your friends and make sure you both are on the same page, because some people's expectations might not be met and vice versa. And just keep that open line of communication with your friends, because if they stick around, it's such a beautiful thing. So yeah, that's it for today. And yeah, we're going to get started, shall we?
Yes, let's get this party started. Links don't work in the chat unless you're a mod. Interesting. We'll have to figure that out.
Yeah, so sorry, guys. We are in the process of leaving.
Oh, well, maybe we should go and drop a link on our own. That would actually be wise. Good idea.
All right. Well, we will start in just a moment then.
Yeah, give us just a second, folks. Man, I just took a look at what was going on YouTube, and it's got something that's like, welcome to our live show. We're going to have to figure all this out. Yes. So apologies on the new streaming platform, but if you made it, you made it. And I think it's time that we get this party started.
Let's do it.
So let me shrink us down here.
And I will start us off.
All righty. Sounds good.
Who feels like home? Write about the people who make you feel more like yourself. Include the ones who bring ease, honesty, humor, steadiness, or a clear sense of who you are. What do these friendships have in common?
Okay, get ready for your next prompt. The shape of showing up. Write about how you tend to show up as a friend in real life. What do you offer easily? What do you forget, avoid, or overdo? Where does your care feel most natural?
What needs tending? Think about one friendship or friendship pattern that could use care. Write what feels alive, what feels thin, and what might help it feel more honest without turning it into a project.
The friend you are becoming. Write about the kind of friend you are becoming in this season. What are you learning about attention, boundaries, honesty, generosity, repair, or shared joy?
Room for different rhythms. Write about the different rhythms your friendships have. Some may be close, some occasional, some quiet, some lively. What changes when you let each connection be shaped like itself?
one small gesture. Choose one small gesture that would honor a friendship or your own way of caring. Write what it is, why it matters, and how to keep it simple enough to feel sincere. All right, we did it. All right, now let me see if I can figure out how to put just us on the screen now. Nope, not that button. There we go.
Yay.
Awesome. Cool. Well, let us know how you found that. Tell us in the chat. Yeah, I forgot we're gonna lean back for this section.
Yeah, let's get a little more comfortable.
Everyone get comfy cozy. Tell us how you did. We're all friends here, right?
Mhm.
I, for one, am excited and was happy to do this one. So, Alex and I have recently decided that we're actually going to stay in LA. We're going to do our next chapter in Los Angeles, somewhere different because we don't like the neighborhood that we're currently in. But we realized that, especially with everything going on for us, that our friends and our family, like the relationships in our lives, are, really important to us. And so we want to actually pay a little bit more attention to those and nurture those. And so these prompts were really good because, it's one thing to like say that and put out an intention, and it's like another thing to like really dig into it and see what that means. So yeah, I had some really good stuff come up. I realize how fond I am of my friends, and also like how weird I am about the way that I like cultivate and curate my friend groups. I've always been a little bit of a character collector, and so my friends, some of my best friends, are not necessarily like daily drivers for me. And like, I kind of have to like pick and choose, and they're not all compatible necessarily. Like, it's always interesting, like when you mix them. But, the other thing that I noticed, like, is, amongst that, there are definitely like your ride or die friends. And, it's just interesting to pay attention to like how those relationships have changed over time, because, I know they'll always be there and we'll always be there for each other, and those friendships will always be great. But it's interesting, like as you get older and you witness someone else's character arc, and how is that compatible with your own. And I was just realizing, like, even with one of my best friends, there's times where I get a little bit frustrated because I think, he in particular is going through a lot of different life changes. And I realized that I was getting frustrated because I was taking like his phone calls as like an opportunity to give advice, like as if, because he does, to be fair, he does ask for a lot of advice. And I realized, like, okay, like I was getting frustrated for giving the same advice over and over again, and not, having the same conversations over and over again. And it dawned on me that like, maybe it's not about advice for him. Maybe it's about holding space for that person and just witnessing his journey and being a listening ear. And, sometimes like sympathy and empathy are desired more than advice and solutions and stuff like that. And it was just like, like I've thought about that before, as like a concept, but for that particular relationship, it didn't really click until I was actually writing that on paper. And I think just kind of reframing that, it makes it easier for me to engage in that sort of way without it being so frustrating, because it's like, okay, instead of it being this task that I'm failing at, getting him to listen to my advice, I can just listen. I can just be there for him. And that, I think, that'll be good. And I was also exploring the different ways in which that I can be, I think people come to me for honesty. Like I have a really hard time, like, Alex knows
I can
this.
attest to that. Yes, he's
Like,
he can, and it's nice.
I can't lie. Like I have a hard time holding a lie in my face, or even just like not even lying. I don't know. I don't like worrying myself, or I don't ever desire to lie or anything like that. But sometimes you're trying to sell something a little bit different than what the actual truth is, and it's written all over my face. But the other thing that I realized is I think maybe sometimes I can be a little bit more blunt than is required. And, I think I sort of value that. And, when people give me the blunt and honest truth, but like, the reality is like, with your loved ones, like there's a little bit of care that I think could be, wrapping those things up. So I don't know, just different insights were popping up for ways that I can engage with my friends, and I love them all so dearly. And they're all such interesting people that, it was really nice to like say, oh wow, I do have really, really great friends. But to turn that, right around and say, well, like, okay, well, how am I showing up in these relationships? I think was really powerful. So that's my story.
Okay, well, here's my story. So yeah, just I recognize that post college, I started obviously venturing outside of my college friends, trying to meet new people and make a new life for myself. And I have found it very difficult since college to make good friends. And thankfully, in the past few years, I've met a couple of people who are, they're just incredible humans, and I'm so happy to have them. And, but it took me many years to make those friendships, and I really struggled. So my heart goes out to anyone who, in at any point in their life, really, in this particular instance, I'm talking about, adult friendships, when you want to expand your social life, when you really need some extra support, it can be hard. So just recognizing that that's something that has happened, and I wish you all the best with that. But yeah, I realized, also the majority of my friends are the people that have been around since I was younger. They know who I am, how I was raised, what I stand for, and I just really value those friendships in particular because I don't have to, you know, explain why I am the way I am. It's just so nice to have these like groups of people that you can just be so authentic with and you don't have to apologize to anything for, it's you're just your truest self around them. And over the weekend I got to see one of those good friends and it was just such a lovely interaction with one of my girlfriends, Megan. She knows I've been going through some things, and she really sat down with me and held my hand and hugged me and was like, "Tell me what's going on," And it was just, of course, we've been connecting over the phone, but those in-person connections, as time goes on, I'm just trying to be more intentional with all of my friendships and those times that we are together, really value them. I know like when, our friends have children or if you have children, like that changes a lot of things, or you're working really hard and your career is getting in the way of maintaining some of those friendships. Like I said before, just kind of keeping that open communication and talking with your friends if people think maybe you aren't showing up in the way they would like you to, or vice versa. But yeah, I think now that I'm entering into my 40s, I'm also a lot less concerned about what people think of me. And it's like, hey, you want to get in on this party? Like, come on over. But I'm not, I'm not changing anything about myself to make this work. It's like, hey, are you in? Are you out? Like, are we compatible? Let's check it out. Let's hang out. So anyways, that's it for me. But I see we've got a lot of great things going on in the chat.
Chat here. Let's go so I can click the chats. All right. You actually just reminded me of something that I'm going to try to do. Someone once told me, like, if you think of like a friend that you haven't thought of in a while, just call them. Just immediately call or text. And I don't know if it's like because there's some reason or anything like that, but it's so easy to let things, you pick up another thought and then like that person falls by the wayside for another saga in your life. And so always good to strike while the iron's hot. So I'm gonna try that one myself. I'll report back. Yeah. Okay. Got just finding all your chats here. Did we see this one yet? I don't think we did.
I think that's our.
Okay, Kathy said, I have 3 friends that text me daily just to check in or send a funny meme. It's just the feeling that someone thought of me and that they know if I don't respond within 24 hours to reach out to my kids. Yeah, well, it's nice that you have like such high frequency or regularity with that. And like, I was thinking about something similar because, my brother and I, one of my brothers, he and I like had kind of lapsed in communication a little bit. And recently, like, we've just kind of opened up like meme lines to each other. And like, now we're just firing back memes, back and forth like every day. And like, for a minute, I was like, I was like upset about that. Like, oh, it's just memes. And it was like, no, because it's like, this lets you know that like I thought of you, and it's still there. And so, I of course would love for that to like blossom to, even, a tighter relationship there. But, I don't think that is something to like shirk off or anything like that. If you don't respond though, they know to reach out to your kids. Well, that's good. hopefully everything stays all right. Yeah. Suri Cat says, my iPad goes off every time I say your name. I have a friend that we chat and send memes daily. I love getting some cute kitten memes, and another friend sends some adult stuff that makes us spit out our coffee. Yeah, right. You all have like different friends for different expressions.
Yes, the content.
Right. The content changes.
It's drastically different from friend to friend. You're like, oh, so-and-so would love this, and so-and-so would hate this.
Right. When that little thing pops up and you're like, you're getting this, you're not getting this. No. You can't handle this. I love that. Elizabeth said, "This one was hard. I don't remember them being so hard. It made me realize I got some stuff to tend to." Well, always be gentle with yourself. Personally, I didn't have like novels to write on all of these prompts. And that I don't think like how much you have or how quickly your answer arrives is so important. So much as just asking the question in the first place. Your mind is really powerful, but it also kind of does its own thing sometimes, and oftentimes you'll get the insights later, or you'll think of it later, but just kind of priming your brain with something to chew on, whether it shows up right away in the prompt or in your journal, or while you're doing laundry the next day. It's just good to kind of point your mind in a different direction than it would naturally, and then you start to emerge with some different insights,
and you can always come back to it.
Exactly. Let's see. We got, I'm gonna have to say Robin so we don't activate the I have a couple of friends where we chat. Did we already saw this one? Okay.
Yeah.
It bundled up. Oh, that's so weird. It's like showing on our thing like several times. I'm not sure what happened there. All right. Yes, we did.
Oh, okay. Sorry, guys.
We got Gabby with
Hi,
us.
Gabby.
What's up, Gabby? I saw you had a new website.
Yeah, we're gonna check that out.
Here we go. Surrey Cat said, "I've always liked my own company and found since I joined a group here that I actually like being around people. It's funny how that works." Yeah, I've always fancied myself kind of a loner, and like I feel like I thrive in solitude. But I think like I don't know, it's also nice to like kind of swim in a bigger pond and have other people to interact with. Like I've always been a bit of an entrepreneur for most of my adult life, and oftentimes that means like just working in a home office and not really having a whole lot of interaction with people. And I even I think I prefer that for the most part, but then there would be contracts or jobs where I would end up having to work in an office, like most people do, and it was like, oh wow, this is like it's a whole different experience. And so I think with anything, we have to be curators of our own experience, and it helps to know thyself. But it's also like, to your point, it's interesting how some assumptions you might make about your preferences or ways things ought to be, then you can surprise yourself. You just kind of do something different, take a different route. Got Geeky Witch said, "I found since COVID that I really pulled back and became much more solitary. So the last year or so has been having to really work on myself so I can connect again with others." I'm the same way. I think we're both kind of working back to like just getting out there and into real life. We both did really well with the sitting at home and ordering food in and stuff and never having to go anywhere or do anything. But I don't know, especially now that we've kind of like clocked that we really love hanging out with our friends. It's like I'm really just on the hunt, looking for different ways that we can all get together and share experiences together. I think shared joy is just like my favorite thing. Let's see. Kathy said, "I suffer from only child syndrome. I can entertain myself and I appreciate the solitude." Yeah, you know what? Maybe there's like a common thread amongst journalers. I wonder if that's a thing that we have in common, because more than a couple of us have talked about how we kind of gravitate towards it. But I'm curious. Kathy, you do so well in our group, so I wonder if it's just preference or circumstance. Elizabeth, it's showing Mary's thing. That was weird. Okay. "I do have some stuff I decided to schedule. Co-reads, create and chat, do works." Awesome. Mary said, "I realized that my childhood camp friends are the ones who stuck ones who still stuck around most. Thank you, social media, for that. Me and my bestie get to raise our littles to be best friends now. That's so cute.
That's awesome.
Oh,
That's wonderful. When your lives align like that and you can do that, that's amazing. That's special.
Yeah, I think also the social media thing, like I rag on social media a lot because I think it's ripping a society apart. But at the same time, like you're right, we are also more connected than ever. I mean, like I didn't even feel like I needed to go to my high school reunion because it's like I know I talk to all you guys. I know I can see you. I don't know. But
Meanwhile, I planned my 20-year high school reunion,
right.
and I was so, again, I do love social media because it's like I've kind of from afar seen what people are up to, but yeah, I don't know. Again, there's something about like older friends and these people that have known you for so many years. Like I really, really value that. So I was pumped to plan my 20
You did a good job.
Yeah.
She's a really good planner. That's why she's now the events director. What do you want to be?
Yeah, I haven't come up with the title I want yet,
but she's good. She just did a journal party in real life down in San Diego by herself. I had to stay home and build stuff, and
yeah,
you got it done. You did a great job.
Yeah.
Really proud of you.
But I just have to say, I also went years without being a good friend, without socializing, without, it's just interesting. I think you go through waves in your life. And of course, a lot of it correlates to what you have going on in your personal life. I know like the times where I was dealing with, deep depression and grief and other things, I tend to isolate. And so, just again, don't beat yourself up when it comes to maybe not being your best self at all times. And
well, that's important to call out too, because you've recognized that in your own experience. And so, maybe next time you're like, where did so-and-so go? Like, they don't ever, it's like, now, it's like, oh, maybe something's going on.
Exactly.
Like you have a little bit of understanding because you've experienced it yourself.
And I also have a few friends who in that time were really wonderful about being like, you know what? I fully support you, but you can show up a little bit more, and holding you accountable. Like that actually helped me kind of get out of those years where I was completely isolating and being a bad friend and not calling people back and just letting things, linger and I'll give them a call back later. And I found out the hard way, a friend was trying to contact me to tell me something very important that happened. And I was like, oh, well, it's probably nothing. So I'll just get back to her later. And by the time we spoke and I understood what had happened, I was just like, oh, wow. like you really sometimes just need to, especially those really close friends, like pick up those phone calls, call them back sooner. And again, I just let.
I had in mind that I need to set a boundary and not pick up all the phone calls.
Oh yeah, you've set up your life so that people just call free, and not with me. It's more of a like, let's set up a nice time. Let's pick a time and designate that time.
Well, that's good. You gotta, examine how you work.
I just know how I work best, and it's when things are scheduled and I know it's coming. And, I can really like dedicate that time to the friendship.
Good deal. See, Gabby says, my pen pals that I write to have a creative side of them. That's good.
That's awesome.
I love creative friends. I mean, most of my friends, I was writing about that, are creative. Like, we live in Los Angeles, and I think a lot of us had little arcs and, in artistry, whether it was filmmaking or music. I played in bands my whole life, and so like a lot of my friendships were actually formed around just the concept of being creative together and sharing that experience. It's really, really powerful. But I think like that's how I'm wired. But like maybe Melissa likes to stitch with people, right? So I don't know. I think to your point, right? You figure out what makes you tick, and try to do your best. We're all trying to do our best, but the other thing that you brought up was accountability, which we haven't really talked about before. You just brought it up. I'm curious. Anybody out there like their friends' accountability buddies? Is that I know we had the accountability group going on. We should bring that back if we get enough bandwidth for it. But I think that is one of that. It's not something that I like had written in this session, but like totally, I really value my friends who can keep me accountable. And like I was saying, like maybe I don't personally need to be so blunt with my honesty with all that stuff, but I do think my friends, rely on me actually calling stuff out, and I think that's super powerful. Let's see, Kathy said both. It's a combination of both circumstances and choice. Yeah, that's right. We all have free will. Oh my gosh, I just found the August prompts on the website. So awesome. August prompts. I just started writing with pen pals from an online group. It's so neat. We started off by sharing things unique to our respective cities.
That's amazing. How fun. I never, I remember being forced to do pen pals. Do you guys remember that in elementary school? Did you guys have to do that?
I loved pen pals. Actually, it's a miracle. Like I'm not on one of those, like I didn't get like caught by a predator or something, because I was on the internet early as a kid, and I used to go into like chat rooms and try to find pen pals, and like I think everyone was my age.
That's actually an interesting point. But yeah, I was referring to in school when they would have designated programs where you're, one class is talking to another class across the country. But it's true, like especially as millennials, when we started communicating with people online, God only knows who we were actually communicating with. It's crazy.
Mary said, "Bring back the accountability group." Yeah, I'm working on it. Unfortunately, my bandwidth has been stretched pretty thin.
Yeah, we're gonna get back in the groove of things and hopefully find a home and settle down and be able to, I think, fully focus.
Definitely for the premium folks, I'm working on building some more of these sessions in. I mean, Journal Party Live on Wednesdays, I want to always be free and accessible for everybody. But for the people who are really in and like who have been around with us and stuff, like I think the intimacy is also what's special about this. And we've been doing a ton of advertising, so we're going to be growing. And as this thing, eventually, I hope it gets really, really big. But I think it would be cool to like kind of still have like the core group, being able to just kind of hang out the way that we do now. Let's see, Robin said, I have someone I Marco Polo with for accountability. It's pretty neat to have convos with someone and see their faces. It's so much better than text.
That's
Well,
cool.
that's what we used to do in that accountability group. And there's definitely a little bit of magic to that. You gotta be careful when you open that sort of thing up to the internet.
Oh yeah.
Internet and the world is a big place. You never know who's gonna show up and how they're gonna be. But I mean, you guys are all cool, so we dig it. Let's see. And Melissa said, "Fun to see how many of us are pen paling."
I know,
I
what
never
is
stopped
this?
since elementary school.
I am just hearing about this now, that adults, there's so many of you too that are pen paling. That's pretty
And do you
incredible.
do it digitally or is it analog?
And how do you find the people and stuff? That's just so interesting.
I mean, like I said, I used to do it in chat rooms, and gosh, that was like the early days. Prodigy internet. I wasn't an AOL kid, and that was like an extra scary pool to be swimming in now that I think about it. But I'm still here. I'm okay. I didn't, nothing bad happened, fortunately. But yeah, no, I actually really loved the idea of like just. I love to get mail. Like that's another thing. I haven't thought about that in a while, but like, yeah, I think it was like the act of like, oh, you get something special in the mail and it's like a special thing. And like, I mean, especially when I was a kid, like I didn't want to read, but like when you get something that's for you, like, yeah, I'll read that. And, practicing penmanship, which I, unfortunately don't have very good penmanship, but yeah, pen pals. Let me know if you guys do it, if you do it digitally or analog, because I feel like, I don't know, I guess I email back and forth and everyone's kind of pen pals and text message then, but like, I don't know. I support the movement back to analog. I think there's going to be a lot of that as AI takes over the internet and everyone's just dumping slop and generated garbage all over each other. It's like, as that starts to like emerge, I'm finding that like when I can identify that there's been like a true human output. there's something that like a human took time to write or create or share. I'm all over that, and everything else is just like kind of a filter it gets thrown up. Like I can tell what's generated, what's real, and like to actually take that another step further and have, hey, like someone wrote this by hand. I think that's so cool.
We got some pen pals forming right here.
Yeah.
Mary and Melissa.
No handwritten letters. Mix of places. Let's see. Got disconnected or something. Okay. No handwritten letters, mix of places in Corimo and Lettermo in February are easy ways to get started. We'll definitely drop links to that in the group because I want to check that out myself too. Mary said, following, would love to crack into my Lisa Frank stationery and send snail mail to a pen pal. Oh my gosh. Alex like overtaxes and she's like, I have to do my taxes, and she pulls out this like rainbow unicorn like folder. It was adorable. I love it. Awesome. You guys are becoming pen pals over here. Yes, the Lisa Frank stationery. Well, she's about to go grab her tax. Oh, it wasn't a unicorn. It was a cheetah. Is that a cheetah or a leopard?
Cheetah. This is for my mail and my bills. I do have other ones for my taxes, and then just some cute dogs, because if you're gonna force me to be an adult, I'm at least gonna use cute folders to keep my adult business in. So, but yes.
Well, we are champions of whimsy over here.
Yes, we are.
So I support it, and I think it's adorable. Mm-hmm. All right, folks. Well, it's 5 after, and it's been another wonderful Wednesday evening with everybody. And right, runs to Dollar Tree.
Okay, I'm going to. I need Lisa Frank.
Yeah. Well, everyone, thank you for exploring your headspace with us, and I hope that everyone's excited to re-engage with their friends and celebrate the relationships in your life. It's so important that we have people to relate to, people to lean on, that where your support groups are, and also on the flippy dippy, like there might be some friends that aren't friends, I think this group's probably got a keen eye for understanding like who's
okay to kick
real.
them to the curb if you need to. I'm always like, if there is someone in your life that is not bringing out the best in you, and
sometimes they come back. Sometimes I've had that happen before, but it's like, all right, part of this is also knowing thyself, and what is helpful for your situation, your circumstances, and like we said earlier, you can, it's circumstances and also a choice, right? So champions of whimsy.
I'm also collecting old school stickers. My friend works for a vintage shop, and she has a vintage reseller that does all these old stickers. They're fabulous.
We'll
They're
drop
amazing.
the link to that in the group too.
It's something I think you can only go in person to like search through her stickers for something.
Okay. Well,
Well,
if she does have a link, please
to a journal party live event in San Diego.
Yes.
There's probably gonna be good stickers available. Okay.
Awesome. Well, we got sidetracked, but folks, once again, thank you for hanging out with us, journaling with us, getting us over the hump. Have a wonderful rest of your evening, rest of your week, and as always,
Party on.
All right, how do we close this program?
How do we get
Bye.
We don't know how to leave.